What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zcash today, ZEC USD. It is the 15th day of July. We're halfway through this month, and here we are sitting at about $581, $582 with roughly 10 hours and 20 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. Let's get into it. Okay, you're moving up with quite the reversal yesterday and a little bit of continuation today. We are right in the heart of that range that we've been anticipating for quite some time now. The concern with Zcash here is the same concern we had with this last rally. Okay, here you had phenomenal volume. In this initial rally, you had phenomenal volume. But in our last rally, there wasn't really much volume at all. The only serious volume you had was on this crazy dump and pump wick here, but not much volume at all. And so you kind of cooled off. That's fine. But as you're rallying here, as you're breaking out of this range and moving higher, there's no volume. Nothing above average. Everything's below average. Let's look at the Binance chart and see if there's any volume there. No volume, guys. No volume at all. That's not exciting, in my opinion, right? That makes me think that we are going to see some price move back down. That whoever sold here, maybe there were some other people that wanted to sell and they haven't sold yet, and they're just waiting to get this thing at a higher valuation so that they can load off as much as possible. Anyways, $581. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and we're about to send it through to new relative highs. That'd be great. I would love to see that. But I don't know, man. Again, this even the movements are different, right? Like here, you see how strong this movement was whenever we were getting volume. You see how strong this was? You see how strong these last movements were here whenever we were moving up? This is weak. This is like not the same. The pitch is different. The biggest day that we had was yesterday, and that was 13%, which is great, but that's the only day that's really been that big. It just seems different, man. It seems different to me. And we look at this from a high to a low. You've broken through your golden ratio, gone right to the 786, 886 as intended. $555 to $614 was the price target. I think it was 613 on the Coinbase chart, but whatever, tomato, potato, it's the same stuff. You can go higher. There's nothing that says you have to stop here. You can go higher. I just don't think that you will. Let's look at the short-term stuff and see if there's any reason to believe that we turn around. 1 hour time frame. Volume's coming in relatively to the 1 hour. It looks good. I mean, that looks good. RSI getting overbought consistently. I mean, this doesn't look bad. Stochastic showing a little bit of bearish divergence. MACD showing a little bit of bearish divergence. RSI technically isn't, but you could be forming some type of double top, triple top, whatever. You don't need bearish divergence on the RSI to mark a top. Like here, you hit a high, hit a high, hit a high, hit a high, no bearish divergence, and then you saw a massive drop. You still continued to rally. Here, you got rid of your bearish divergence, and then you saw the drop. Here you actually do have bearish divergence. We look at this, high, lower high, lower high. That is double bearish divergence, technically. Stochastics are overbought. MACD, the MACD looks all right, to be fair. But that RSI gives me the heebie-jeebies, man. I mean, that makes me think that we're going to drop back to 540. If we do, and maybe even below there, if we do drop below 540 on a daily closing basis, let's even say 536 on a daily closing basis, that to me would signal a potential high. Because then we're closing below this high here, closing below these highs. Let's lower the bar. We'll say that once we get a close below, 544, maybe 518, 520, somewhere in that range. Daily time frame here, the RSI is very bullish, shaping up to be very bullish, but if you turn around here, you could get a double top or reject the overbought zone. If today were to end up closing red, you're only up 2.8%. If today were to end up closing red, you would look like you're rejecting the overbought zone. You would look like you have bearish divergence and that you're ready to move down. Stochastics are overbought. MACD building bullish momentum here. The MACD is the only good thing. The MACD is the one thing that makes you think that it could continue on, but the volume, there's just some signs, man, some weird signs that make me think that you might have found your high. So I'm going to start calling for the high. I will rethink my strategy. I will rethink things if we get a day to close above here. 620. You know, we were bearish down here, and then we dropped, we came back up, we flipped bullish right here. We were bullish. And then we were bearish right here. We came down, we actually came back up, and then we were bullish right here. So little flip-flop both times, both those times it worked out. We've remained bullish ever since. Now I'm flipping bearish again. If I have to flip bullish at a higher price, I will. The last two times we flipped bullish at a slightly lower price, which is great. But if I have to flip bearish at a slightly higher price, that's fine. For the most part, it's not about being right the whole way through. If you are, that's awesome. That's great. But if you can be right for most of it, even half of it, right? That's really the idea there behind TA. So it's not about being right more than wrong. It's about making money at the end of the day. But I think that if you're if you bought down here and you're taking profits here, you're making money. If you haven't taken profits, you haven't made money yet. Just food for thought. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I think that we're finding a relative high here. I think that the high is in, and that is at about 590 bucks. Yeah. I don't know if we get above 600. I think that might be it. We're right in the sweet spot, right where, see, and this is something maybe some people are like, but you haven't addressed the fact that we broke out of the trend line. Well, we broke out of the trend line. This is typically where you turn around. This is actually typically where you turn around. It's the sweet spot. You know, let's look at this, for example. And here you kept building afterwards. This won't be the exact example I'm looking for, but look at this, right? Trend line, trend line, trend line. You broke it, and what'd you do up there? You came back down. This, you back tested the trend line for support and continued to rally. That's great, but you know, same kind of concept here, even to the downside. You're finding support on this trend line, right? And then where was the best spot to buy? It was right below the trend line. Oh no, we're breaking out. We're going to go to zero. That's what these lines are meant to do. They're meant to invoke emotion in you. And the reason why they're meant to invoke emotion in you is because when you're emotional, you make terrible decisions. Yay, we're breaking out. We're going to new all-time highs. No volume to support that theory. Bearish divergence on the 4-hour. If you turn today red, which is only 2.5%, we've got 10 hours left in the day. It would take a 2.5% move to turn you red. You look like you're rejecting the overbottom, plus you have bearish divergence on top of that on the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame. You're set up to drop, man. Yay, we're bullish. We're going to go higher. Yeah, they got you. You know, that's my thoughts. Coming from the guy that, you know, was very bullish at the lows here and bearish here and bullish here, and we flip-flopped a little bit here and there, but man, you know, here we are, bearish again. We'll see. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. 577 is the price, and we're dropping right now, so I'll see you on the next one. It'll probably be lower. I wonder if Bitcoin, you know, Zcash, whenever Zcash drops, Bitcoin doesn't drop with it most of the time. Sometimes whenever you see a highlighted crypto like this, where it's like a shining star in the space pumping, whenever it dumps, that typically means there's weakness in the rest of the market. But we've seen Zcash dump and Bitcoin actually pumped. So, I mean, it's kind of doing its own thing right now. So I don't imagine that Zcash topping off here means Bitcoin has to top off. But maybe they do top off in tandem. Maybe Bitcoin dropping is what cascades Zcash down. I don't know. I don't expect that when we drop, it'll be like this. I absolutely don't. This is a one-off. But it's a one-off in the sense of how intense it was. It's not a one-off in the sense of, oh, we dumped and now we're ready to go. I think this was a sign that there's more to go. And now here we are at this relative high point, ready to go lower. And I think we will go lower. That's my perspective. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.